the world changes soon. Can get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me too. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy
Welcome
to
to
be
the Red
triggered
Pill
and
Sports
pretend you're a
Entertainment
victim.
Show.
It's my race,
I
it's
am
my
your
way,
host,
because I'm a
Albert
Christian, I
Apache,
hate the
and as usual, brought to you by Open Source, Self-Defense, Fitness, and Grappling. Alright guys, let's go ahead and start getting into the show. But first, please remember to like, subscribe, comment down below if you agree or you disagree. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so we've talked quite a bit about Deshawn Watson and his impact on the NFL draft, the quarterback carousel, and of course what it's going to mean to the free agent negotiations, if you will, at the next CBA. Now, we need to talk about what the Houston Texans did in the draft. They drafted Davis Mills out of Stanford. Now, if you're not familiar with Davis, I would not be surprised. The kid was very heavily recruited coming out of high school. However, things did not work out great when he first got to Stanford, at least for him. And that meant that he did not get a ton of playing time. And then, of course, we had the Sharona Cyrus hit the nation, and all of the ridiculousness of lockdowns kept this poor young man from really, truly putting on display his skills. Now, here's the thing. This kid is very, very good. I don't think that he's going to start initially for the Houston Texans. I think what will happen is maybe about 6 to 10 games into the season, he will start. I believe this means Deshaun Watson will be traded by the Houston Texans once his cases are settled. We'll talk a little bit more maybe next week about what could be coming in the settlements. Been watching, listening, and communicating with a couple of lawyers that do have YouTube channels, and apparently there is some really interesting things that could be done as far as the settlement is concerned. That being said, let's keep it on topic with what this means for the Houston Texans. Now, remember that the Houston Texans have essentially traded away a lot of their talent. They've gotten rid of their flagship player, other than Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt. I mean, it just seems as though the Houston Texans have already been contemplating going in a different direction. Basically rebuilding. Well, what do most teams like to start with when it comes to rebuilding a franchise? Well, that's generally a franchise quarterback. Davis Mills, in my opinion, does have a future of being a possible franchise quarterback. And they got him for a steal, considering they got him in the 3rd round. They really haven't risked much. They'll come out. I believe Tyrod Taylor will be the starter. I believe he is was supposed to be the backup to Deshaun Watson. He will start the season, and then they will have Davis Mills on the bench. As I said before, if he looks promising and he continues to develop the way he looked to develop through his junior season, he will be the starter after games 6 to 10. Now, when you watch Mills play, some of the things that really stands out is that he is deceptively fast. He has very deceptive speed. He has very long strides, so it doesn't look like he's really moving that quickly, but he really is pretty fast. You see him beat a couple of defenders because of this. They take bad angles because of his style of running. Also, what you'll notice is that he has pretty good pocket awareness given his age, his experience, okay, and the number and overall the number of games that he's played. Lastly, you'll also see, even if you go back to some of his high school film, that he loves to keep his eyes down the field. So he is a throw first, big play quarterback first before he tucks and runs, which I think, is one of the few criticisms of Lamar Jackson. I think you can bait Lamar Jackson into taking a 5 to 8 yard gain rather than picking up a 15 to 25 yard gain if you get him to get happy feet in the pocket. Okay, so in my opinion, that is one of the criticisms of Lamar Jackson. This kid does not have that issue, even though he could probably run for a lot of first downs. You'll see if you watch some of his highlight tapes at Stanford where he steps up in the pocket. There looks like there's a great running lane. He could probably get the first down, but instead he keeps his eyes down the field and he finds his receiver. The other thing I love about this kid is if you watch him when he throws to his receivers, he throws the ball in anticipation. He throws guys open. He doesn't wait for guys to be open and then throw him the ball, which is a huge criticism I've had of Dak Prescott in the past 2.5 seasons. Okay, so I really like the way this kid plays, his confidence level, his just the way that he handles himself inside of the pocket. I really feel like for the steal of a 3rd round draft pick, you're possibly looking to having to rebuild. Who knows what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson, even if he settles. We already know from the Ezekiel Elliott fiasco a few years back that he will serve some type of suspension regardless of what is settled. I mean, these 2022 women could come forward today and say that they were all a bunch of liars. They could all, disclose every single one of their DMs from Instagram that says that they were in love with Deshaun and they just wanted revenge on him. And it wouldn't matter. The NFL is still going to suspend Deshaun Watson. Okay? We already know that. So, given all of those things and knowing how unhappy Deshaun Watson is in Houston, I would be very surprised if Houston did not find a way after the settlement is done to trade Deshaun and bring in either a couple of pieces, either running backs and wide receivers to help out Davis Mills, or even more importantly, to bring in people to protect him so that you can build the confidence of this young quarterback. I think this was a phenomenal move. I really do feel bad for Deshaun. I feel like, everybody's kind of profiting from a bad situation off of Deshaun's back. It really does bite, but it is a business and it is what it is. All right, guys, that's what I have today. I'm really excited to see what this means because no matter where Deshaun goes, it's going to shake up the league, whether he stays in the AFC or whether he goes to the NFC. I mean, where could Deshaun possibly go? I mean, the only other thing is maybe they keep Mills on the bench if maybe they find a way to jump in line in front of the Denver Broncos and maybe they find a way to get Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? All I know is that it's going to shake up the landscape and it's going to bring some really fun and exciting things to the NFL this next season. All the moves that went on, I really like it. I've really been enjoying it. And I think we all have to kind of give a tip of the cap, nod of the head to Tom Brady. I really think he kicked it off last season by not just settling with the New England Patriots, but going ahead and leaving and signing with Tampa Bay and then winning the Super Bowl. Winning the Super Bowl was key. Winning that Super Bowl has now emboldened these players and these teams to roll the dice, take chances, and try to win now by bringing in that missing link, that missing piece, whether that be a quarterback or whether that be some spectacular defensive player. I think this is going to be a really, really fun season, and I can't wait for it. All right, guys, that's what I got. We're going to talk a little bit, hopefully later on into the week, about this whole ridiculousness about them trying to compare Cap and Tebow, and somehow trying to play this into a Black Lives Matter kneeling, police brutality. They're not the same at all, guys. We're going to talk about why. We're going to get into it. So I hope you're ready for that. All right, man. That's what I got. So remember, be practical, be purposeful, get fit with a purpose, guys.
We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my race, it's my weight, it's because I'm a Christian. I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right. Let's talk about abortion. Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth? Weird. You're so stupid.